Coming up in today's video.
I swear there is never a dull moment in trucking.
When I turned 30, I decided to completely change my life. I quit my job, left everything behind and moved by myself from England to Canada. Follow along with me as I embark on a new career as a truck driver and build a new life whilst trying to navigate through the highs and the lows of emigrating to a new country alone. My name is Jen and welcome to my channel.
Guys, I am on a mission to get more females into the trucking industry. So if you know a lady who you think would make a really good truck driver, please share my videos with her, especially if she's English and wants to move to Canada. And if you're a truck driver from England who wants to move to Canada and do the same thing I did and drive trucks all across North America, then you can download my 60-page ebook. Available on Etsy and costs about £23 with VAT included. And it takes all of the experience that I gained moving by myself when I had no guidance whatsoever and condenses it into a comprehensive guide so you don't have to mess around half as much as I did. Please consider joining our Patreon page. We have a wonderful community over there. You get early access to videos.
You get a shout out at the end of each video.
You get to vote on certain things like which thumbnail I should use and all that fun stuff. So you can search my name, Jennifer Winters, on Patreon, or you can access the link down below in the description. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let's get into it, guys. Good morning, guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to another video. It is Monday the 3rd of March, and Houston, we already have a problem. So I was cranking up the landing gear, because as you can see, the trailer, obviously, there was loads of snow here when the last driver dropped it. The trailer sunk through to the floor, and cranking it has caused the shaft to completely break. So luckily the mechanic Chris managed to crank it by hand. I did this side because only obviously this side was cranking, and he's basically going to try and fix it before I go. So I'm going to do my pre-trip and everything and then bring it around to the front, get my paperwork, and we'll see what's going to happen. In the meantime, I've been trip planning, so let me show you where we're going today. So we're starting here in Newmarket. We're heading down to the Peace Bridge at Buffalo and then all the way down to Cambridge, Maryland, which will be really interesting. So, we're going next to Delaware, so whether or not we're going to be actually going through it or not, I don't know. So we have a 12-hour and 15-minute journey to go.
Navigation, we are heading to Peace BRG, Buffalo, New York.
And it's 3 hours and 11 minutes to the border. So I am just going to make sure I've packed my fridge away, put all of my stuff away, and then we're going to get going. Well, I'm literally leaving now.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Oscar, leave. Good boy.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's voiceover Jen here. So as you can see, we are skipping ahead to the border right now, and I usually like to start my day by calling my wonderful mum. So that's exactly what I did. We had a good catch up. But just before we get into the video, I'd like to apologise for the audio in this video. There will be times where my voice is kind of quiet. My GoPro doesn't really pick up very well on audio, so I'm so sorry if occasionally it's hard to hear, but I'm doing my best, so bear with me. Okay guys, so we are at the Peace Bridge in Buffalo, and we are just crawling over the bridge at the moment. It's going really slow. And then we've got another sort of 2 hours and 11 minutes to go till we get to the Loves, where we're going to get scaled, we're going to put some fuel in, and then we're going to carry on to our destination. So I'm still not sure where we're going to sleep tonight, but we're just going to try and make a bit more progress if possible. I'm just hoping that the load scales okay, because the liquid wax that I'm hauling notoriously is pretty difficult to scale. But something else I have to do when I actually get through to the border, when I speak to the officer, is I have to ask to go in and renew my I-94, because it is going to expire whilst I'm out of the country, whilst I'm out of Canada, and you can't let it expire whilst you're out. So I've already done the form online, I've paid the $16, so all I need to do now is go in and give my biometrics and sort of confirm that I've renewed my I-94 really. So I will let you guys know how that goes. So here we are crossing the Peace Bridge on a beautiful sunshiny day. The Peace Bridge connects Fort Erie, Ontario with Buffalo, New York, and as you can see, there's still some frosty bits. Winter was definitely trying to hang on, even though the sun was starting to shine. Okay, so pretty major problem. I can't find my purse anywhere. It's got my driver's license, it's got all my fuel cards in, so it's pretty integral. I have a feeling it is at home because I have that much stuff to bring with me in the truck every time that I think I've forgotten it in my coat and I didn't bring the coat with me. I think it's in the pocket. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit screwed if I haven't got that. But I've texted my roommate Abby to see if she can check for me. And unfortunately, as I'd suspected, Abby did confirm that I forgot my purse back home. I'd left it in my coat pocket, which was hung up on the rack. So I was kind of on edge this entire trip in case I got pulled over for an inspection and asked for my ID. But on the plus side, we did renew our I-94 visa for the US for another 3 months. All right, everybody. So we're stopping at the Pembroke Services in New York State because they have not only Dunkin' Donuts, but also Panera Bread, which are my 2 favourite takeouts in the US. And I never get Panera, so I'm so excited. Let's go. I'm also repping my brand new leather jacket, guys. What do you think? I got this patch made custom on Etsy. And it says Women in Trucking, British born, Canadian made. You can definitely tell I've been watching way too much Sons of Anarchy, but I am so proud of my whole journey moving from England to Canada to drive trucks, and I really wanted to show it off. So please drop a comment and let me know what you think of my jacket, guys. But here we are ordering our lunch. So at Panera, they have soup, salads and sandwiches. You can pick any 2, so here I am with my lovely French onion soup, and I got a caprese salad sandwich. It was delicious. And of course, my absolute favourite, Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. Alright, so we are all fed and watered. I feel incredible. That was such a nice surprise to get 2 of my favourite foods in one day. But yeah, basically the next stop is to a Love's because we need to scale up, and I also need a little bit of fuel. Forgive me looking down at my GPS, I'm just making sure that everything's in order. So yeah, we're basically coming off at exit, is it 48 or something? And we're going sort of like southeast to Batavia, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to give you guys more information because a lot of you are like, oh, we want to follow along with the journey, so tell us more. But quite honestly, I'm just on autopilot, so forgive me if I don't always remember to update you guys. But yes, so we are 20 minutes to the Love. Right, let's go, guys. So here we are driving through a small town in New York State. I think this probably was Batavia if my memory serves me correctly. This was a few months ago. But look at the houses, guys. This is what I really enjoy about my job, is that not only do I get to visit places that I probably would never go as a tourist, but that I probably would never even realise existed had I not been a truck driver. Look at that house on the left, guys, the grey one. Some of these houses look like actual dolls' houses. It never fails to blow me away. The architecture's stunning. The only downside to this, however, is that whenever I drive through these quaint little towns, I always see somewhere that I would just love to stop off at, like a little cafe or a little restaurant, and I'd just love to go in and explore some of the shops. But of course, I'm in a semi-truck and there's nowhere to park, so that is a major downside. I wish there was way more accessible truck parking, but here we are. So I just have to use my imagination and imagine what it would be like to live in one of these small towns, because I can only imagine it being pretty magical. And yeah, I'm really lucky that I get the chance to explore. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys some of the other sites that I see on my journey. So if you guys look over to the left right here, you will see a classic red American barn. I know you see those a lot in movies and things, but I see them on a pretty regular occasion. And this on the right is a typical example of an American high school. And if you look to the left of the screen, you can see a couple of yellow school buses dropping off the kids at the end of the day. Now, here we're approaching an American-style roundabout, or as they call them, a turning circle. They are pretty much the same as the UK, but usually in North America, you only have about 1 or 2 lanes maximum. I've never seen a roundabout with more than 2 lanes. And also, we obviously go around them the complete opposite way, which is very important to remember. It's also illegal for cars to pass a truck going round a turning circle, so you get to take up all the space, which is pretty cool. And you don't see them very often, to be honest with you, which is a shame because I think they are a little bit more efficient than four-way stop signs, but here we are. And we finally arrived at the Loves to get scaled. So we have another problem. We are over on our drive axles, so I'm only allowed £34,000 and we are £560 over. So I'm thinking if I slide my tandems 2 or 3 notches to the back, then that should hopefully even stuff out. Let's try and scale again and see how we get on. And here you can see me pulling the button to then retract the pins, allowing us to slide the trailer on top of the wheels to redistribute the weight. We then drive onto the scales again, press the button, give them the reweigh number and get our new printout. You can also do this on the app, but when I have the time to, I like to just do it the old-fashioned way because it gives me a chance to get out the truck and get some steps in.
Newmarket equipment.
Yeah, that's the one.
You're all set. Pull forward, find appropriate parking, come your stick, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so first of all, this is our little scale ticket guy, and this one was our first. Very nice looking trucks and new cards that I don't believe I've got yet, which is cool. So we're all scaled up. We are within our legal weight limits, which I'm very happy about, so that's fine. But I'm pretty sure I don't have my wallet with me, which is terrifying because I don't know if I'm gonna have to do an inspection at some point. If I get pulled over, like, you need your driving license and they don't really care whether you have an excuse or not. So absolutely terrified about that and just literally having to hope that I don't get pulled over, but it is what it is. It's my own stupid fault for forgetting my license and my wallet at home. The good news is, even though my fuel card is in that wallet, which I'd usually use, I do have a spare fuel card in the truck. I was more than willing to pay for it myself, but they've said no, you can use the silver card. So yeah, not ideal. But right now I'm in Bath, New York at the Loves. Obviously we've just scaled and I'm going to see where we're going to stop for the night. If I can stop, you know, in another sort of hour or so, then that would be great. Like heading through New York, like through the hills, not really seeing many places to stop. There is a place called the Fry Brothers Turkey Ranch, which looks quite interesting. I just want to look at the parking situation. So I'm going to Google it and see if it looks legit. And if it does, then we'll stay there because it's another sort of hour and 11 minutes. How many hours? I've still got 5 hours on the clock, so there's no point in making tomorrow's journey harder. So I want to try and get to my delivery as early as possible. So yes, we shall see how we get on, and I'm going to Google this Turkey Ranch thing. We've made it to the Turkey Ranch, or whatever it's called. I don't know what a Turkey Ranch is. I think there's basically a restaurant, but it's closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. But there is a mini mart, so we're gonna go check out the mini mart and see what that's all about. We're 5 hours and 4 minutes away from the delivery, so the plan is just to get up nice and early, probably try and hit the road by 6 and see how we get on. All right, everybody. So for those of you wondering, this is what a turkey ranch looks like. But yeah, we're literally in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. Oh, we are in the Allegheny
mountain range, Susquehanna Trail, elevation 1,704 feet. Pride Rose Turkey Ranch. So yeah, this is what the turkey ranch looks like from the outside. But obviously it's closed, which is a shame because it looks really nice. But the mini mart is open, so let's go and check out what that has to offer. So it's a shame the restaurant itself was closed, but we obviously came here on the wrong day. Look at that shot, guys. That truck looks beautiful. So we're heading into the mini mart and I'm going to show you guys around and show you what they offer. So here we are, you go in through the door and they sell all sorts. Apple cider vinegar, pizza slice savers, lots of different variations of mac and cheese, ready to go meals. Soups, coffees, that's some squeezy grape jelly, or jam as we call it in the UK. And they had like 1,000,001 different types of ice cream flavours. Chocolate marshmallow, butter pecan, or butter pecan. Moose tracks, not sure what that is. And yeah, I was very tempted to buy some. And then they have these fountain drink machines, slushy machines, coffee and tea. Just what more could you want, really? Good morning, everybody. So it's now 5:55 a.m. I'm a bit later than I wanted to be. I've been up since 4:30. Anyway, we've got a 5-hour journey, so I'm breaking it up into a 2.5-hour journey. We're going to stop at a diner on the way, which should be good. And then we're going to carry on the rest of the journey. I don't have an appointment time, so it's just a case of getting there whenever. But we are projected to get there at about 11 a.m, which is great. So let's carry on. So then we headed out early. The next morning, you can see the sun wasn't even up yet. I don't love driving in the darkness because it's just harder to make turns and all that fun stuff, especially when you're in the middle of nowhere like we were, because it's just so badly lit, as you can see. But we headed to the highway, and before we knew it, the sun started to come up. And here we are once again heading through a cute little town. There wasn't as much going on here, obviously. It was still first thing in the morning, so hardly anyone was awake. But yeah, it was nice to see a small American town as everybody was just waking up. Okay guys, so we just stopped off at the 83 Diner, I believe, the I-83 Diner. So I'm going to go in, see if we can grab a bit of breakfast. I need a coffee, and then we've got a 3-hour drive to go to our destination. So this place had tons of truck parking, and you can park for free if you buy their breakfast. So that's exactly what I did. I had bacon, hash browns, egg and toast. Okay, you guys, so we are all fed and watered or caffeinated, and yeah, that was really nice. It was about $10 for a full breakfast and free coffee, for which I had 2 refills, which was lovely. So now we are just rejoining the I-83 southbound, and we have about a 2 and 3/4 hour journey. The shipping and receiving place doesn't look great. It looks kind of small, so we'll see what happens when we get there, but I'm just hoping I'm not in for a headache. And if you guys look to the right of the screen, you can see the Welcome to Maryland sign. It wasn't the best shot, but here we are. So we joined the expressway,
headed over this absolutely beautiful bridge. It was so lovely to see the sun shining, the water glistening, and I really wish you guys could see just how expansive this stretch of water was. I really wish I could remember the name of this expressway, but it was honestly gorgeous, and this footage is obviously considerably sped up, so it was a super long bridge, and yeah, it was just a nice surprise. Alright you guys, we made it to the shipper in Maryland, so let's go ahead and check in. Okay, so I went over to the main building, pressed the buzzer. After like 3 attempts of pressing the buzzer, finally got through to somebody. Look at this cool train track, by the way. Finally spoke to someone and they were like, oh, wait at your truck, someone will come out. And it's been about 15 minutes. There's another guy waiting as well. And I'm like, oh, here we go. This is the part of truck driving that I don't like, because we're not being paid to just stand around. At first, you're like, oh, it's fine, you know, it doesn't matter. But then you think how many times you have to do that, you know, waiting around, not being paid. And it's like hours and hours and hours. And that part of truck driving is a massive, massive downside. So just bear that in mind if you're thinking of getting into the industry. Okay, well, this isn't very reassuring. So I just went over to 2 guys who were stood at the receiving door that I've just come from. They both spoke Spanish, so we had to speak through a translator. But basically what I gathered was that he's been here since yesterday, waiting to get unloaded. Like, he had to sleep here, and they're saying that he won't be seen till 9 p.m. I don't know, like, no one's still been out, so I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But I really, really, really hope I'm not here till 9 p.m. Okay, so we're in the right place, but wrong facility, so we're gonna turn around, but, oh, would help if I release both my brakes, wouldn't it? I don't know how easy this is going to be. So he's basically saying to straight back down into the hole and then swing round, but oh, such a tiny yard, like, why? This is an absolute joke. So, after 20 stressful minutes, I finally managed to turn the truck around. Oh my gosh, what an absolute freaking nightmare. I had to get those guys to help me. That was so hard. There was no space to turn around. I had to do like a 80-point turn to get out. And now we're heading to this other part, which apparently I'm supposed to go to. But I'm pretty sure that when I got here, all the doors are full of trailers, not trucks, just trailers that have been dropped. So I have no idea what this is going to look like, but here we are. Let's see where we have to be. I'm going to swing it around here, because then at least if we're going into this bit, I can back in on the side I can see from. So yeah, there's literally no doors available. I'm so confused as to where I'm supposed to go. But anyway, let's stop here and see what happens. Okay, so now we're in the right part. This is the original place I came to, because all the doors are full. I was like, well, it can't possibly be here. And I go talking to the guy at receiving, and he's like, oh yeah, like, it's around the other side. I'm like, no, I've just come from there and it's taken me like 20 minutes to get out. Anyway, he said, no, it's fine. One of the guys is going to remove the trailer, which he's doing now. And then I'm going to back into door 4. I can cut the seal and go ahead and back in. So to be honest with you, I might not even film it. I just want to get it done, but I'll see how I feel. Okay, this is what our liquid wax looks like. So yeah, one of the bars has fallen off, but that's fine. And luckily, now the doors are open, it's 22 degrees outside, which is nice. It actually feels kind of summery.
because it's imperative that this liquid wax cannot freeze. So obviously when it's like been -10 and I've had to open the doors and back in, I'm like, oh my God, is it gonna freeze? I know it'd probably take a long time, but still. And I get anxious, whereas now, like, because it's so warm outside, there's no danger of that. So I broke the seal, opened the doors, put the seal inside. They said it's fine that I can just open the doors, but I've put the seal inside the trailer anyway, just in case they need to check it. And I'm just waiting for this shunt driver to pull the trailer out, but he's taking his sweet ass time, so I'm just gonna wait here until he moves. Here he goes. Woohoo! Okay guys, it's show time. Let's go ahead and back in. A little bit nervous, but we're gonna do our best. Again, no idea if I've got enough space, probably not. But who knows? I'm gonna try my best. Yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. Probably. I am way too far over. I don't know how I'm gonna do this.
Turn the wheel a little bit.
This way. This way?
Just back straight up.
Yeah?
No, not up too much.
Up too much.
Right there.
There? Thank you. Sorry.
Straight up. I've seen too many feathers get
Are you sure? Because I'm really close to that trailer on this side, yeah?
back up a little bit. Head that way.
Okay.
Back up.
Okay. Thank you.
Still tight here.
Yeah, just a little bit. And then back this way, yeah? Thank you. Oh, I see, yeah, to kick it round. Okay. Oh, come on. Woo. Okay, we're finally getting unloaded. Jeez Louise. What a nightmare. So I went past the right place thinking it was the wrong place. Went to the wrong place thinking it was the right place. Get told to come to the right place. They tell me I'm in the wrong place. And then have a nightmare trying to back in and nearly end up in a ditch. Luckily, we didn't end up in a ditch and we are being unloaded. But that was not fun. Look at me. I look so gross. Oh. Anyway, I'm going to call the office now and see what dispatch want me to do next. Oh guys, what an afternoon. So I've parked up somewhere about 30 minutes away from where we were, and it's a truck stop, which on Trucker Path said, you know, yeah, truck parking, whatever. But here there's a sign up saying parking $10, and I'm like, I don't want to pay $10 to park, like, for my job. Do you know what I mean? The amount of times I've had to stay places and pay for parking, and literally there's nowhere else in the area that I can park. So this is the nearest rest area that's almost full, and people are saying you can't park there overnight. All of these places, you're heading towards the middle of Baltimore, all of them are pretty much full, and it's 3:45 in the afternoon.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable.
So my next idea was to try and call the shipper to see if I can stay overnight and get ready for my appointment in the morning, and I was really struggling to get through to them.
You have reached Baltimore Distribution Facility. Please wait while your call is being transferred. Please leave a message after the tone.
Oh, this is so annoying, they're not answering, so I have no idea if I'm going to be able to stay there or not. It's an hour and 26 minutes away, and I have 3.5 hours of drive time left, but I don't want to drive an hour and a half there if I'm not going to be able to stay. I'm just a little bit nervous though, because what if I can't park there? There's literally no parking anywhere else around, so I don't know. Oh, I don't know whether to risk it. I'm not sure. I'm going to try calling them again. I can't get through to anyone at the place I'm supposed to be collecting from. It says multiple times on Google Maps they do overnight parking, so I'm just going to try and go, because I've just been inside and they were like, yeah, it's $10 to park here. I'm like, the place is a hole. And there's absolutely no facilities. Like, there's no showers, there's no restaurant, there's no nothing. It's just a dirt lot. And it's like, it's so frustrating that people take advantage of drivers like this. You think you've given us something special? The old gas station that's in front of me is all smashed up and looks like crap. There's a friggin' caravan next to me. Like, I'm not paying to stay somewhere like this. It's just ridiculous, because they know that, oh, it's Baltimore, let's try and make a quick buck off the drivers. And it's just, honestly, so frustrating. Like, we're trying to do a job, we have to sleep somewhere. Why people feel that they have the right to take advantage of us is frustrating. So my only other option is to try and go to the place I'm collecting tomorrow and sleep there. Is there going to be any parking there? I have no idea. We're going to try. So we set off on our hour-and-a-half long pilgrimage to the city of Baltimore, the land of no parking. On the plus side though, I got caught in some of the most beautiful rush hour traffic possible, and the sun was setting, so that took the sting out of it a little bit. In this clip we're going approximately 4 miles an hour, but I sped it up 8 times as fast to spare you guys the suffering. Okay everybody, so I have been sat in the most annoying Baltimore traffic for an hour and a half, and we're still 21 minutes away from our collection, where I'm hoping we can sleep, because if we can't then we're pretty screwed. I have an hour and 30 minutes left on the clock. I was supposed to have 2.5 hours left, but the traffic's so bad, and I just really hope that this journey was worth making and that we'd be able to park, because if not, I don't know what I'm going to do. A little bit frustrating, but anyway, let's keep going and hope we can find parking. So we finally made it to the distribution centre after all that traffic and all the setbacks, and I did manage to find a safe, secure parking space. I also thought it'd be nice to treat myself to an Uber Eats for dinner because I was too stressed out to cook, but the Uber Eats driver got lost and ended up leaving my order outside, so that was great, and just the end of a wonderful day. Alright, we made it! We found a space! Hopefully we don't get shouted at for parking here, but honestly, after the day I've had, I really don't care. So let's clock off for the night and I'll see you guys in the morning. So early that morning, I got up before anybody else got there, checked in and managed to get a door. So I was really happy because I really just wanted to get delivered and get on to our next destination. But little did I know the fun and games that awaited me in a matter of minutes when something else went wrong. But first, let's get into this space. So as you can see, it was pretty tight. There was a curb in the way and there wasn't much room to pull up straight. So I had to be kind of sneaky with how I backed it in. It took a few attempts, but we got it in eventually. Okay guys, so it took just under 20 minutes. That's including driving around, turning around, to be fair. And backing in, it took 18 minutes. That's not too bad, considering it was kind of tricky. I'm glad there was no one here. Sometimes it's nice when there's other people there because you can just ask for help, but when there aren't other people there, you kind of just have to do it and like figure it out. What I've learned is, even if like you're getting frustrated and it's difficult, just stay calm and keep going, because you've got to do it. Like, there's no way about it. You can't just magic the trailer into the bay, so you have to keep trying, and getting stressed isn't going to help. So yeah, I am getting loaded now. I'm just going to call my mum and have a coffee, and then we're going to head back to Canada. I swear there is never a dull moment in trucking. I was just walking around talking to my mum, and I've noticed that I've obviously turned a bit too sharply because this has happened. So it's come out from this hole. Luckily the connectors are still okay, so yeah, it's just a case of buying a new green cable. This end is still okay. So I've spoken to Mark, my wonderful boss. The best bet is, because there's no brake lights on my trailer, like none of my trailer lights are working, and that is a serious problem if you get pulled over for that. So luckily I just have to go buy a new green cable. Alright, great news. So this Fleet Repair, whatever it is, they have the cables in. So I'm gonna, once I'm finished getting loaded, I'm gonna park back where we parked last night and then head down to the truck repair. So yeah, wish me luck guys, hopefully it doesn't take too long. Okay, good news. So I've just been to the main office to ask if they need me to move out of the dock and wait till he's finished loading, or can I just go ahead and get an Uber whilst he's loading me? And he was like, yeah, that's totally fine. I was like, I should be about 45 minutes max. So that is perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and order an Uber. Okay, Uber booked. Let's head to the repair centre. So we jumped in the Uber and it was about a 9-minute journey to this truck repair centre. I also looked at the local TA truck stop, but they were charging a heinous amount of money for cables. But, you know, it was really nice to be able to get out and see some sights, look around the local town without having to focus on driving, and be able to look out the window. That was nice. Oh, amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, you too. Safe driving. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Bye. All right, everyone, so we're in business. I got my cable, got the receipt, and we're waiting for our Uber back. That took all of 5 minutes, and the guys were really nice. So shout out to Fleet Pride Baltimore. Thank you for helping me. We made it! So I picked up my paperwork on the way because we need that before we leave, in the seal. So I'm going to go do a quick repair and then we're out of here. This is our culprit. The pins are still fine, so let's go ahead and install the new one. They're all okay. This is still attached here, so I'm just going to have to leave that hanging for now until we can take it back to the shop, but yeah. So just before we cable tie, I want to make sure the lights are all working. Oh, thank God, right. They look like they're working, but I'm just going to pull it forward. Okay, so what we're doing is we're just creeping forward at 2 miles an hour. First of all, because I want to get out the dock, but second of all, just because I need to slide my tandems back. So we're currently building air into the trailer, because without air in the system, the pins won't retract and I won't be able to move the tandem. So I'm just pulling it around the corner nice and slowly because we don't want to trigger our driving time. And I think it's anything under 5 miles an hour and it stays in on duty. And we're going to do a full pre-trip inspection and head out of here. But yeah, I'm just pulling around the corner so I'm nice and straight. We can close the doors and I'm going to zip tie the cable once we know that everything is working. Okay, so this is our new cable, which I'm going to zip tie shortly. Our lights are all looking good, which is a great sign, and I just want to make sure that the brake lights and everything are working at the back. Oh yes, okay, great. And that is our load.
So after all that madness, I was so happy to be getting out of there. But of course, I wasn't able to leave easily. The door would not close. Honestly, I couldn't believe my luck this day, so I had to go ahead and pull forward and get somewhere a bit more level.
Now the door isn't closing. I'm guessing that's because we might be on a slight hill, so we're going to pull it forward a bit further and hopefully it works. Oh, what a morning, guys! It's not even lunchtime yet.
So we pulled forward a little bit further, and this time I had a bit better luck with closing the doors because obviously the ground was a bit flatter. But then my GoPro went and fell over when I was trying to record, so that was great as well.
Okay, we're all seated. I did try to film it, but my GoPro fell over. Okay, so we're in about hole number 12. My tandems are slid right back. We're sitting around 57 PSI. And I know ideally you should be around 60, like when you're fully loaded, I believe. But I don't want to slide them right back because then it's going to be really hard to make turns and everything. Obviously, like the further back your wheels are, the wider the turns and the more difficult it is to back in. So anyway, we're going to a pilot that is 2 hours away and we're going to get scaled there, so we're just going to wait and see what happens with the scale ticket. But I'm just going to double check that the weigh station should be closed because I really don't want to run into any problems there. So yeah, we're just going down here. This is the one we have to worry about. So when we go on history, see it's sort of closed, open, I don't know. So 43 minutes ago apparently it was open, but I don't know. So no, okay, so I've decided we're going to go to the TA and scale there because there's some drivers saying that it's open, some drivers saying it isn't, and I don't want to risk it. So yeah, that's the only place I can think that have scales that's nearby. Hopefully I've done that correctly. I probably should have swapped it round, but I don't know. I'm doing my best, so just no tight turns for now. But yeah, let's carry on the pre-trip and then we're going to get out of here. Okay guys, so thankfully we are scaled perfectly. Thanks to that trick with the 60 PSI, we are on the nail. We're not over on any axles and we're in hole 12, which is unheard of because I'm usually in hole number 6 or 7, 8, sometimes 9, and at a push I've had to go into 10 once. We're in hole 12, that's insane, but we are perfectly scaled, so I'm getting better at this. Yes! And this is the card that we got for today, so let's go. Yeah, so it's just a bit annoying with the tandem slid so far back because it means that I have to make really wide turns. But I'm just happy we're legally scaled, man, so that is fine by me.
So I'm really glad that we decided to go to that TA and get scaled because the other option was to go to a Love's about 2 hours away on our journey, and it would have taken us past a weigh station that I have seen open before. So we had to go 15 minutes out the way to get scaled at this TA. But for me, it was worth it just to know that before we set off on our journey, everything was going to be hunky-dory and we weren't going to risk getting a way ticket, because it's when you think that everything's okay that you end up pulling in and getting a fine. And in the next clip, if you look to the very bottom left-hand side, you can see some little kids stood at the side of the road asking me to blow my air horn. Look at them, they're so adorable.
Tremendous visions for how the SPC.
Of course I obliged, and I love it so much. This never fails to bring me joy, and I'm so glad I got it on camera.
Okay, so I've been driving about 15 minutes and there's just been a tornado warning in this area for this afternoon, and it's 12 minutes past 12 right now, so we need to get the hell out of Baltimore. They're saying heavy rain, strong winds and a possible tornado. So yeah, we really need to get the heck out of here.
So the sky went grey and the heavens decided to open up and the rain only got worse. It was absolutely pelting it down. We had to slow right down, keep a good distance, and yeah, it was pretty precarious. And the sky looked very angry. But the crazy thing is, so despite this tornado warning, I was actually due a much worse experience with a possible tornado a couple of weeks later. And I will do a video all about that. Trust me, it's worth the wait. So here we are crossing back into New York State again. And look at this beautiful sunset, you guys. I love sunrises and sunsets, and I try to film as many of them as I can because they're so beautiful. So New York was the last state we had to pass into before reaching the border. And of course, we were crossing again at Buffalo. You can see just how misty, foggy and moody it looked. It was very atmospheric. So we crossed over the bridge and passed through border control. And little did I know that waiting for me on the other side would be a roadside inspection. So yeah, I was dreading this because obviously I didn't have my driving license with me. So my heart started to race, let's just say.
Okay, you guys, wow. We made it through the border at Buffalo and we are parked up at the Husky. Luckily there are spaces. When we first came in, there was loads of trucks parked at the entrance and I'm like, oh God, does this mean there's going to be no space? But there are quite a few spaces, so I don't know why they're all being lazy and parking at the front. Anyway, basically, yeah, there was a roadside inspection as soon as you come through the border. And I've been pulled in there before and I was so shocked I didn't get pulled in. I think the truck, it was like 2 trucks ahead of me, he got pulled in. And I was like so relieved that that wasn't us, because I don't have my driving license with me and I think I could get a fine for that. So I am just so relieved that we didn't get called in. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've still got to make our journey tomorrow. I think we've got probably about 5 hours of driving tomorrow, but that was a proper roadside inspection. So I'm really glad that we didn't get pulled aside. That was a stroke of luck. It's now 8:28 p.m. We have about 2.5-3 hours to go until we reach our delivery destination. Yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep. But I'm not gonna get up at like the Cracker Sparrows, because like it's been such a long day today. And what with like the messing about with the electrical cable and everything, and I've done a lot of driving, I'm tired. So I'm gonna get as much sleep as I think I need. But I think so long as we're on the road by like 7 at the very latest, that should be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. All right, I will see you in the morning. Morning, everybody. It is no, it's not Friday, it's Thursday today. It's 7:29 in the morning. I've been up for about 30 minutes now. I was probably wanting to leave closer to 7, but I didn't sleep much last night because it was very windy. It's always really windy at this truck stop for some reason. My truck was like rocking like crazy, but you could hear the airbags going like click, 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 click. And I'm a very light sleeper, which sucks when you're a truck driver. When I have my reefer on, it's like a little lullaby, like white noise that I can sleep to, and it drowns out all the other noise from the truck stop. Sleep like a baby. When I don't have my reefer on, you can hear this guy doing his thing, you can hear air brakes going on over there, you can hear someone's reversing alarm over there, you can hear the wind howling. So I just don't know how you guys do it, honestly. So anyway, we have 2 hours and 41 minutes to make our journey from where we are in St. Catharines to Scarborough, Ontario, and then we have another hour or so to get to the yard, and then we should be done for the day. So
thank you once again to the Husky at St. Catharines for providing me a home for the night. I love staying there, and I've stayed there a ton over the 8 months or so that I've been driving trucks. Can you believe, guys, it has been so long already? I've almost been in Canada 1 whole year, and I've been driving trucks for about 8 months. It's absolutely insane, and I can't believe that I'm fast approaching my 1 year Canadaversary and truckiversary. It's honestly insane to me. And this month it will be 1 entire year since I passed my British truck driving test, because I passed late April just before moving to Canada on the 1st of May. Can you believe it? But on May 1st, when I'm celebrating my 1 year Canadaversary, I will actually be back at home in England because it's my granddad's birthday, and I wouldn't miss that for the world. So yeah, that's what a roundabout in Canada looks like. So we pressed on, joined the highway, I believe it was the QEW, and headed on to our delivery in Scarborough, Ontario. Little did I know I'd be in for a bit of a nightmare.
Okay, everybody, so we made it to our delivery in Scarborough. However, we are parked up on the road waiting for a door, because apparently there's only one door used for deliveries. There's already a truck in there, and then this guy is next. So we're going to be here for quite a while. Yeah, it's really frustrating. It's like, why not just give people set appointment times? Like, I was told to get here between 8 and 12, but obviously if you've got 5 trucks turning up at the same time, then it's going to be chaos. And the actual yard itself is tiny. Yeah, not loving this so far. Okay, so I've been here around 1 hour and 20 minutes now, and there's definitely been people just pushing in ahead of me. So I'm actually just going to go into the yard, turn around and wait for the door, because I've been here for way too long and I want to get out of here. So yeah, this place is absolute chaos. This guy's just pushed his way in. This guy's trying to back in. There's a guy over there trying to get out.
As you can see, this was definitely a really frustrating experience, because not only did they have a ton of semi-trucks running around not knowing what was going on, they also had box trucks coming in and out, and it was just such a busy yard. And I decided to ask this lovely gentleman to help me back in, because it was so chaotic. People were just pushing past, and there was cars parked ahead, so I didn't want to swipe a car or anything like that. And I just figured that 2 sets of eyes are better than 1. And he very kindly helped me. So it took a couple of moves, but we got in there eventually. And then I just had to wait to be unloaded. But then came the real fun, trying to leave the place. Because again, there was no room to turn around. I couldn't get out and turn left to where the exit was, because there was just no space. There was too many trucks. So I had to try and sort of swing round, do this awkward U-turn, but again, there's box trucks everywhere, and it just took me way longer than it had to.
Oh my god, there's people everywhere. This is chaos.
So I was more than happy to get the heck out of there, to put it lightly. Look at this creative shot that I managed to get of me turning a corner. And I'm so sorry, guys, for the resting scowl face that I do when I'm concentrating. I don't mean to look like I'm in a bad mood, but here we are. So we finally made it back to the yard after a couple of hours driving, and I saw another driver, said hey. I get on with all of our drivers so well. They've become such good friends to me and always look out for me, and I'm really lucky to work for such a great company who take care of the drivers, and we take care of each other. So here we are back in our trailer in, and then came the fun of trying to drop the trailer.
Okay, so we're back at the yard, we've fueled up and we need to drop the trailer, but obviously because our landing gear has snapped, we cannot just drop it. So what the mechanic Chris has told me is to lower the landing gear on this side till it's on the floor, and then on the other side stack some wood underneath. So let's go ahead and do it.
So I went on my merry way to go and find some pallets to use. I just slid it underneath the leg, and then one of our yard hands, Daniel, came over and helped me to stack another block on just to make sure that it was the right height. You can see me then going ahead and dropping the airbags to lower the trailer, making sure that before we pull out, the trailer's supporting its own weight, and we could go ahead and unhook. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on another journey and for helping me along throughout all our trials and tribulations, but we got through it and we got the job done. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, drop a comment below, tell me where you're watching from, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, make sure you're following along and hit the notification bell so that you get an alert every time I post a video. And as always, thank you to our wonderful patrons: Viv, Ian, Jilly, Melody, Brian, Dodgy U, Kevin, Angelique, Michael, D Hodges, Bernadette, Paul K, Raymond, Jim Dean and Alan. Thank you guys!